that there's no way in hell Eddie Hearn is gonna give Deontay Wilder $7 million because Deontay Wilder said he'll only fight Dillian White if Eddie Hearn pays him $7 million. I said that's unrealistic. Dillian White is not a big name like that for Deontay Wilder to be demanding that much money, and Deontay Wilder is not a big name like that to be able to demand that type of money. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I always knew this was an unrealistic thing that Deontay Wilder wanted. You know what I'm saying? I always knew that. But and Eddie Hearn just confirms it. He said this is ridiculous. There's no way that he's gonna give him a $7 million to face Dillian White, which means Deontay Wilder either has to take the Anthony Joshua fight, because if he doesn't take that fight, then he's gonna miss on a $4 million payday, and then Eddie Hearn is gonna keep saying the same thing. You have to fight another guy. Who is Deontay Wilder gonna fight then? Because if he turns down, because Eddie Hearn wants Dillian White and Deontay Wilder to fight on February. So let's say he turns it down, Wilder, and he doesn't take the $4 million, and he keeps saying $7 million, and then he doesn't take the fight, right? And then let's say it's next year, and then Wilder decides to fight. That's why I keep saying he's gonna fight the winner of Dominic Breazeale versus Eric Molina. I'm telling you, because if he's stubborn about this, and if he actually doesn't take that $7 million, guess what, buddy? He's just gonna fight the winner of Eric Molina versus Dominic Breazeale, because Dominic Breazeale and Eric Molina are fighting for a WBC title eliminator, so they're gonna be the mandatory. And then after he beats that winner, he's probably gonna fight Anthony Joshua or something. This is what I'm saying, man. Wilder needs to smarten up, man. He really needs to smarten up, man. I don't understand him. You're getting all this money. I think he beats Dillian White. It's a fight that he could very well win. Dillian White is not unbeatable, and I think Wilder beats him. And like Dillian White said, he called him a crackhead, you know. It's just unrealistic. It's unrealistic. You cannot demand a certain amount of money when you don't bring that certain, when you're not like a big name like that. You know what I'm saying? You know, somebody like Floyd Mayweather, Manny Pacquiao, Canelo Alvarez, they could go around saying, I want 15 million, I want 20 million, because they're big stars. And they could demand that because that's how much viewership, that's how much money they generate, you know? Especially if like they're pay-per-view stars. But Wilder, he doesn't generate that type of money. That's just the truth. And this is why I'm saying, like, again, this guy has never even made a $2 million payday. Why not make $4 million? That's great money for someone like Wilder who's never made that type of money. Like, I would understand if, like, say Wilder was making like an average of like $10 million per fight, and then what's his name? Eddie Hearn came to him and like, and told him, I'll give you $4 million to fight Dillian White. He's gonna be like, excuse me? Then that's different. That's reasonable. He could be like, excuse me, I make like $10 million every time I fight. You think I'm gonna fight Dillian White for $4 million? No, you better give me the minimum $7 million. You know what I'm saying? But that's different. But that's not the case with Wilder. It's kind of like with Floyd Mayweather Jr. Do you remember when Dana White, the guy who owns the UFC, he used to offer Floyd Mayweather like $2 million to fight in the UFC. He used to say, Floyd, I'll give you $2 million if you fight in the UFC. The problem with that logic is Floyd Mayweather was getting paid like $30 million per fight. You get what I'm saying? Mayweather was getting paid like $4 million every time he fought. No, excuse me, like $30 million every time he fought. He was making so much money. And you had the owner of the UFC, Dana White, or the president of the UFC, Dana White, saying, I'll offer you $2 million if you come into the cage and fight in the UFC and MMA. It doesn't make sense, because it's like, excuse me, I'm going to risk losing to an MMA fighter for $2 million. Why the hell would I risk that if I'm making $30 million fighting in a profession that I'm an expertise at already, and that's in boxing? You get what I'm saying? It doesn't make sense. Now, if Dana White would have go around saying, hey, Floyd Mayweather Jr., I'll offer you $100 million, $200 million to fight in the UFC, that's different, because that would be a lot more, you know, that would be a lot more like, oh, shit. From Mayweather's perspective, it's like, okay, I only make $30 million fighting in a professional fight, but if I fight this UFC guy, like maybe Conor McGregor in the UFC, I'll get paid $200 million. That's something that will probably motivate Floyd Mayweather Jr. to actually attempt to fight in the UFC, you know. But he's not gonna fight in the UFC for $2 million when he's making like $30 million per fight. Sometimes, you know, $100 million per fight. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of, so this is kind of the same thing with like Deontay Wilder. Deontay Wilder is demanding $7 million, but he doesn't. He's not a big star like that. He can't demand that type of money. So he should be very happy and thankful that he's even getting the opportunity to get $4 million, because again, it's not like Dillian White's the biggest name in the world. It's true, you know, Dillian White isn't the biggest name in the world, but he's still. But because Wilder's a champion and he wants him to come to the UK, he's offering that type of money, that $4 million payday. So again, I don't think it's a risky. I mean, it might be. Some people think it's a risky fight for Wilder. I necessarily don't think. I think Wilder beats him. I just think stylistically he's all wrong for someone like Dillian White, but I just think Wilder, if he's confident in himself, because Wilder keeps saying that's an easy fight for him, so if he's confident in himself, if he truly is confident in himself in beating Dillian White, then take the fight. Don't be afraid to take the fight. That's $4 million. Then if you beat Anthony Joshua, you get paid like $10 million. And let's say if you beat, and then that's $14 million. And then let's say you beat Anthony Joshua. Now you're gonna have the rematch clause. You're gonna be the A side, and you're gonna be receiving like $20 million, double that, maybe even $25 million, because you beat the star. You know. And then after that, you'll be left for like almost $50 million. You know, you'll be set for life. So I just think that's the smart thing to do. Like, Wilder's in a very powerful position right now because he has the ability to make all these millions. But, you know, Wilder doesn't seem to understand that. He just has to listen to Eddie Hearn, man. I don't think Eddie Hearn's being a bad guy. Just Eddie Hearn's being realistic. He just wants Deontay Wilder to fight someone with a name recommendation, with a name recognition, so it makes this a bigger fight for them. Because if he fights Dillian White in the UK, a lot of people know Dillian White in the UK. Like, say he knocks him out faster than like, say he knocks out Dillian White in like 2 rounds. It does it faster and more viciously than someone like Anthony Joshua. That's just gonna make that fight more exciting. More UK boxing fans will want to see that fight. Oh shit, I want to see this fight. Are you kidding me? He did a better job than you know, Anthony Joshua. So that's gonna sell out. It's gonna sell out. It's gonna be even more bigger. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I just think Wilder needs to smarten up, man. That's all I have to say, guys. If you watched the whole video, I appreciate it. Please subscribe, please like the video, and see you guys next time. You know me, I upload on a daily basis. I'm trying to be more consistent because lately I haven't been uploading as much because there really hasn't been that many things to talk about in boxing. But I'm trying to, as you notice, I'm uploading a bunch of videos these days. I mean, I've been uploading a bunch of videos lately, the past couple of days. So yeah, trying to be more consistent. And yeah, that's all I have to say, guys. Please subscribe, please like the video, and make guys out. Thanks.